Welcome to the June 23rd, 2015 meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh.
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends newspaper, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for the individuals serving our nation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen. The clerk will please call the roll.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Cole? Mr. Phelan?
Here.
Mr. Vanderhoff is absent. Mayor Winterfield?
Here. Okay. There are no presentations scheduled for this evening, so we'll move on. At this time, are the reports or comments from any volunteers serving our community? No? That's okay. The next item on the agenda, public comments. The public comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. An additional period of public comment is reserved later in the meeting. Individuals are requested to limit their questions and comments to 3 minutes. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name and address for the record. Yes.
Good evening. My name is John Bannon. I'm from 212 Greenleaf Court, Pompton Plains, which is in the Cedar Crest Village area. We're here to ask for an ordinance regarding the Pilgrim Pipeline issue. And in order to get things rolling, we have submitted already documentation through the Carol Marsh, the town clerk, and through Councilman Florence Lynch over there on material that can be passed on to the Environmental Committee for their comments. I won't get into it. There's two councilmen not here. You know our feelings on it. I've also submitted to Dave, and also now a copy to Councilman Phelan, the Congressional Research Service, which is a service that Congress, all congressmen and senators, when they get a new topic that they don't know about, they assign their staff to this service that's provided, and they educate themselves on what the issue is. So this is the 213-ish report on the Keeping America's Pipeline Safe and Secure, Key Issues for Congress. There's 2 copies now in your possession. I suggest you read that if you want to educate yourself in this field. Reading it myself, I'm not too impressed with the safeguards that new pipelines have on the oversight proceedings. In order to not get into this, following your lead, Mr. Phelan, I think we'll wait till the July 14th meeting when all the council is here to ask that you bone up on what we presented to you. And also, if you have any questions or any things you would like us to research or bring before, or any objections to a request for this ordinance. So I appreciate your efforts on this behalf, and thank you for passing the resolution expeditiously last year. I think we're going in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes?
Good evening. My name is Ken Dolsky, 21 Winfield Drive in Parsippany. I'm a volunteer with the Coalition Against the Pilgrim Pipeline, and I just wanted to say 1 or 2 quick words about this ordinance, and then we'll take it up when you have your full quorum. So, as background, the New Jersey legislature has delegated municipalities very wide-ranging authority under the municipal land use law, and there are no siting authorities for oil pipelines, and that's what we're talking about here, is an ordinance against unregulated pipelines that do not serve the needs of the local community. This would not apply for gas lines, for example, which are regulated by FERC. So that's what this is all about. 4 towns, Parsippany included, have passed it. What I would suggest is you have your attorney take a look at it and see what he or she thinks. It's important to do this, if you could do it before Pilgrim files, and they were talking about filing over the summer for their environmental permits, although they don't have a date, and the reason for doing it before they file is that it's less discriminatory if you do it before they file. This is like a general purpose protection that I think any town in New Jersey should look at. All it says is we don't want to have unregulated pipelines in our community. That's all it says. It doesn't say Pilgrim Pipeline, doesn't say oil pipelines, it just says unregulated pipelines. So in Parsippany, they just put it into the zoning ordinances, and it's there as protection against whatever should come up, at any time.
Could I ask a favor? Could you forward a copy of the 4 ordinances to our clerk so that she can distribute it to all 5 members here?
I think
You're talking there's 4 that have been passed, the ones that are signed. We'd like to see the ones that are
Yeah.
signed.
Okay, yes.
I think she has them already.
You have all 4 of them?
I can check.
Yeah, I couldn't get my hands on the Madison one, but I do have the Chatham, I do have Parsippany, and I think I have Watchung.
Okay.
Best I can do.
Just helps if we have all 4 of them.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's behind it, and, we just encourage you to take a look, think about it, and like I said, it's every county, seeing what's going on with the growth of energy production and what's going on with energy infrastructure in this country and in this state, I think every town ought to be taking a look at something like this.
Okay, I think we made it pretty clear with our resolution that we're not in favor of this, but like I said, we'll look at the ordinances.
This gives you teeth.
Well, the county is actually working on it too. The county has opposed it also. They're freeholders. Yeah. No, Morris.
Morris.
Yeah, where we are,
Right.
yeah.
But they're not going any further, they haven't gone any further than that.
They did a resolution, I believe.
They did a resolution.
Right.
Yeah, and they've been corresponding with Congressman Freeland-Heisen.
Right.
So,
Well,
okay,
somebody has to go ask them to do an ordinance.
right.
It's on my
Uh,
schedule of things
There
to
you
do.
go.
It
Thank
helps
you.
them if I get the towns to do it first.
Oh, so we're the first, I got it.
Well, no, Parsippany, but,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Louise?
Louise Marquis of 16 Roland Road. Last week I started walking, which is a good thing. Walk here, walk there. And we do have a very walkable community. But you see things when you walk that you don't see when you drive by in the car. And one place in particular is the business K&K Design. It's located in between Initial Encounter and Bodies. I don't know what's going on with that business, but it looks like a hoarder's house. And it's a shame because Bodies has established such a beautiful business. They've painted the outside, they've decaled the outside. There's flower pots. Also, Initial Encounter is such a handsome, inviting store. I mean, don't we have any kind of ordinance that dictates how a business has to be maintained, how it can look? I know we have it for the private residences. There's certain ways you have to have your grass taken care of. You can't put garbage out before 4 o'clock day before pickup. I know we have many ordinances regarding private houses, residences. Don't we have anything? I mean, this really looks like a hoarder lives there.
Are
I
you
don't know
talking
the
the
history.
inside?
I don't know the
Are
history.
you talking the inside or the outside?
Looking through the glass. They have
Some
glass.
towns will
there's-
have an ordinance where it has to be blocked off while they're
And the windows are dirty to begin with.
papered out or something, so,
The paper would look better.
Over government routine here.
and you don't think it's construction?
We have our property maintenance ordinances do apply to commercial, to non-residential
That's-
properties, but it's
Outside.
exterior,
Outside,
not interior, yeah. I don't know that we have anything that applies.
I don't know the history of the business. I know one time it was for sale and then it was for rent. Now I don't see any signs. I know they had a sign for the street fair, so somebody is going in there and doing something. I don't know whose belongings they are. I don't know if it's from the last tenant or the landlord decided to just throw some stuff in there. But it's really,
Are they still actively in business?
I don't, that's what I'm saying, I don't know the history of the store. All I know is it is really an eyesore. And I'll tell you the truth, if I were Donna and Joe from Barty's, I'd be on the phone with you guys every day. I mean, it really drags down that area.
It's outside of our purview, it's private property. The landlord would have a lot more authority over interior maintenance, unless there's a fire hazard that, is a code violation that
Might be a fire hazard. It just looks like there's junk all over the place. You can't even make out what's in there.
We'll take a look at the situation. I think I would advise against attempting to regulate
Yeah.
business interiors.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, what a can of worms.
It's just a shame because it really brings down that area. It really is a shame. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. There being no additional public comments, we'll continue with the agenda. Next on the agenda, public hearing on ordinance 2015-08.
Right, the planning
Ms.
board
Marks.
didn't discuss this, you know that, right?
Right.
So,
So I guess we're just carry that like we did the other one?
Correct. We should announce now the date we're carrying it to.
the,
Which will be,
Do we know?
Yeah, right.
well,
the planning board's got a limited period to
No.
review, right?
right, they're gonna review it at the next meeting, which I believe is July 7th,
20th?
Monday? Monday the 7th?
So the 14th.
So we would,
Well,
Oh, we're gonna have a busy 14.
July the 6th?
6th.
Right, Saturday's the 4th, yeah, okay, so July the 6th is the Monday.
so we would carry it to the 14th. It could always be carried again.
No,
It's the first Monday?
The planning board meeting is the first Monday of the
Which
month,
is July 6th.
which is July 6th.
Okay.
The only reason we didn't discuss it was the planner was not at our last meeting.
Right, okay.
Okay, so we'll carry it to 7/14. Okay. So then we have,
May I
is that all right? We have to.
think that should be done by motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to carry it until July 14th.
I'll second it. Roll call.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Cole? I'm sorry, Mr. Phelan?
Yes,
Mayor Winterfield?
Yes. Okay. Should we at least do public comments, or we'll do that again?
no, there's no public comment
You-
because we
well-
don't even know what we're talking about yet.
All right. Okay, ordinance 2015-10. Ms. Marsh.
This is an ordinance amending Chapter 166 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Pequannock entitled Swimming Pools.
Okay, are there any comments from council?
I don't have any.
We talked
Yeah,
about
we
this
talked
last
about
time.
this last time. I don't think there was any changes. So.
Okay. If anyone in the audience has questions or comments on this ordinance, please come to the microphone, identify yourself for the record. Okay. Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
Do we have to close the public hearing first?
Okay. All right. All right.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
All right. Second?
And we can do that just with us here.
Yes.
I think so, yeah, Karen, I got an email here, says we can.
Yes.
All right. Yes, I'll second that.
Yes. Roll call?
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Mayor Winterfield?
Yes.
Now I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2015-10.
And I'll second it.
Ordinance?
Or ordinance, I'm sorry. Ordinance, sorry.
And I'll second that.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yes,
Mayor Winterfield?
Yes. We're out of sync without our other members.
yes.
Oh, screw it.
Right. Next on the agenda, there are no ordinance scheduled for introduction at this time. The agenda items is resolutions. Ms. Marsh.
Resolution 2015-110, authorizing the release of any rights the township may have in a 25-foot wide buffer strip located on property known as Block 201, Lot 3, located at 231 West Parkway. Resolution 2015-111, authorizing payment in the amount of $4,696.09 to Keisha Ritchie for accumulated leave. Resolution 112, authorizing the completion of an application to participate in the electronic tax sale program. 113, authorizing the reinstatement of a special sewer assessment payment plan. Resolution 2015-114, authorizing the release of designated escrow deposits. 115, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations. And Resolution 2015-116, approving the payment of itemized claims as set forth on the June 18th, 2015 bill list.
Okay, are there any comments on the resolution?
I do have one. Back on, I guess it was June 10th, must have been my last environmental meeting. And the Environmental Commission was asked to make some comments for the planning board on Resolution 2015-110. I don't know how they could have reviewed that already. So I'm just wondering,
Or who could have?
how that works.
Would it have been on the resolution or on the planning board's review of the whole
Oh,
application?
maybe it was
It was probably on the planning board's application, because
Yeah, my recollection of the council discussion is that it was approved and we were directed
Right.
to.
All right, I just
do
wasn't
resolution,
sure,
which
because it was
is
after
warrant.
that, yeah, I just wasn't sure, because it was after that it was on the agenda for the environmental commission. They did make some comments that they wanted to go back to the planning board, whether they used them or not.
The planning
It was
board's
after that.
already approved all
Okay,
this.
all right,
Okay.
it was just a question,
Yeah,
it was just the
Monday, right?
timing.
Monday,
They
yeah.
talked about it on
last
Monday.
Okay,
Yeah,
So maybe they had
yeah.
the results by the time. the
yeah,
planning
maybe,
board acted.
okay, that was my only comment. I mean, I was fine with everything, they just had some comments.
Okay. Did you have any comments, anything, Rich?
No, the planning board was very in favor of having this done. So no, I don't have any comments on anything, other than the release of designated escrow deposits. There was, I'm sorry, that wasn't, the overpayments or cancellations. There were, I would assume that the last two on that list were cancellations, were the tax lien and the tax, what's the word you like to use, the premium?
Oh, the premium.
Yeah, that's just cancellation, right? That's not that we're paying now.
When a lien is redeemed, a third party has purchased the outstanding taxes.
Not costing us anything.
No, we're just, taking money from,
Left hand and putting in the right hand, whatever. Right.
but it's
okay.
passing through our account, so we
Okay. All right.
avoid that.
That's the only question I have.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2015-110 through 2015-116.
I'll second,
Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Mayor Winterfield?
Yes. Next on the agenda, items for discussion.
Okay, the first one we really can't discuss because that's carried to the 14th.
Right. There's nothing more to add, is there?
That's correct.
Is there any update?
I did speak to Mrs. Bogert's attorney, and it's still a work in progress. He's having a hard time setting up a time meeting with her to go over the contract. So I do not have their results. He did tell me the issues of timing that he had raised really were his thoughts, not hers. And he understands that all those things are going to change, particularly since we're not going to be signing a contract now until mid-July at the earliest. So I'm going to push to have all those issues resolved by the 14th so we can do
So-
what we have to do on this.
He thought it was like a regular real estate type of deal?
Well, he thought the time frame seemed pretty long, and they do for a general residential real estate.
But it's not general. There's
But it
no
is something
study.
unique about
It's
it,
unique.
so yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so we're good on that. And 09, anything?
Well, we don't have the planning board review on
Right,
that
we
either,
didn't.
so.
Right.
This one was not advertised,
Correct.
so it's just there as a placeholder.
Is it on their agenda, or?
Yeah, we will be
Yes,
discussing it
on the 6th.
on the 6th, yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Reports and notices. Next on the agenda, are there any comments or questions on the reports and notices?
I don't think so.
Okay. Managers report, Mr. Holberg.
Okay, within the last couple of weeks, we've completed several road projects. Obviously, all of the streets within the Phase 1 area, the sewer project, including Turnpike, Jackson Ave, Evans Place, Sunset, a small piece of Manor, are all repaved, and striping should occur within about 2 weeks. We did receive county approval on the new striping plan so that the crosswalks will no longer be the etched concrete. They'll be painted high visibility crosshatch, diagonal hatches, so that they can be seen from further away. And two of the crosswalks, the one in front of our location across to the church and the one in front of Marco's, will also include much longer curb step outs, so that white cross hatching will actually, it's about 14 feet long at the curb, and then a fairly wide crosswalk with another couple foot wide striped area in the center, which visually will cause drivers to, see a narrowed lane. So it will include a couple features that are part of the walkable communities, And we just did receive the okay from the county on that striping plan last week, so hopefully within the next couple weeks that'll get done. Also completed now is West Sunset. If you haven't been up there, take a drive. After many headaches getting there, the road surface is actually very nice. It's drivable for the first time in many, many years. And will last us until we can kind of figure out what we need to do with stormwater and everything
Mud
else.
that comes down there?
There shouldn't be any more mud coming down.
I think it's coming from that house.
It is coming
It
from
is,
Yeah, it's
and
not
it's,
coming from the road.
if they're not controlling the runoff from their property, that's a violation of soil conservation. They're supposed to, if the plastic things aren't working, they're supposed to have hay bales. And once it's sodded, it shouldn't be an issue anymore, but
Okay.
there should not be any more dirt coming off that property. Also, Jefferson is now complete, finally.
Everything worked out.
Progress on our flood elevation grant. We did have a meeting last night with residents in the area that we had outlined at our last meeting. It was fairly well attended. We had help from the flood committee. They went door to door to make sure that residents were aware of it. We did do a mailing, which was followed up by door to door invitations to the meeting that we had last night. Meeting went well. There were a lot of good questions. I think we had, out of about 45 properties that were eventually noticed, we had 26 or 27 properties represented, and by the end of the evening, we had 13 people actually signed up. And our goal is to have everyone who is interested fill out their form and have it completed by the end of this week. And that'll give us our group of homes for our first grant application. So that's moving forward nicely. That's all.
Okay.
All right, Dave, as a follow-up to that, I want to see if I can get the list of the people that signed in last night and compare it with the flood committee list of who they haven't got, nobody was home when they went to the door. They would like to go one more time. They were going to try to hit some more houses tonight. Dara gave me the list of who was home, who was not home, who doesn't live there anymore, who lives out of town. There was one or two people that claimed they never got the letter. I don't know how that can be.
Oh, with the post office, I can believe it.
And I don't know if you were going to try to follow up with a certified letter. It's over. I know you're trying to get it in on Friday, but I know somebody's going to call and say, well, I can't help it. I wasn't home when the flood committee came and I didn't get the letter. So they are going to go out. I believe they were going to walk again tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday, just to make sure they got everybody. So is there a way just to get, who has that
Yeah,
list?
I got it today by
Okay,
email. I'll
good.
forward it to you.
Okay.
That's why we did,
Right.
use the process that we did.
Yeah, it worked out
The mail
great.
followed up by, and I had asked the flood committee to keep accurate records of when they were
Yeah,
there
they
and whether
did.
the door was answered or not, so that we, if
Did you
anyone
get
did.
her list? Because she gave it to me.
Did she? I haven't seen it yet, but,
I'll summarize it. She read it to me over the phone.
we'll keep it in the file so that if someone says, I was never contacted,
Okay.
we can say with a straight face, it's not for lack of attempt.
Okay, great. All right, what else? Economic development, they meet tomorrow night. Flood, we already talked about. I guess I just have one more question about the sewer hookups. I know the sewers that are done along the Turnpike and Manor and whatnot, people now can just hook up as they go, right? Because I know we were at the street fair and Dave had called you. Apparently the guy in Manor Ave didn't know that he could just hook up now. Most people would know that they can hook up now, don't they? Or are we supposed to send out another letter?
Everyone in this, the letters went out.
Yeah, okay.
And I
Okay.
double check on that.
We just thought it was funny that he was asking. He's like, when can I hook up? And he could hook up now.
And the letter was sent
Okay,
to that address, so.
great.
Yeah, everyone in what we're calling the Phase 1 area or west of the railroad is able to hook up now. They received their notifications, in fact, council took action, a resolution accepting the
Right.
sewer, which set the date for the 3-year time period for tie-in, and the letters went out immediately after that.
Good,
So that was in February or March
yeah.
timeframe.
Yeah, that's what we
February.
thought it was funny that it came up to us. Okay. Yeah, everything else
Is
was
it
good.
hooked up?
Yeah,
Alright.
we've got, I think my most recent numbers 3 weeks ago, we had 10 completed and 3 or 4 in the process of applications and whatnot.
Okay. So when they hook up, all part of that is abandoning the septic, that all.
Yeah, they
one
have
thing?
to, at the time they connect, part of the permit requires abandonment, and that has to be inspected by plumbing or
Okay.
by construction.
That's great. Anything else, Melissa?
No, that was it. I just wondered if anything's going on yet with the hookup for extension to Gillies and all the properties in between. Where are we with that?
Yeah, the next step, council will introduce an ordinance
Okay.
providing the funding and initiating the notification to those property owners. I just received the block and lot list late last week, so
Okay.
I didn't have a chance to put the ordinance on for tonight.
Okay, great.
And I wouldn't want to do it tonight anyway.
Right.
Good.
Okay, good. Councilman Fallon?
Were we supposed to pave Sunset by the high school? Wasn't that part of the,
No.
no, that was never
Well-
part of the?
We're going.
We have a state grant.
Right. I thought that was gonna be done last
Yeah.
year, then we said it's
Well,
gonna be done this year.
We received the grant last year. It was scheduled to be designed over the winter and be a summer this year project.
Right.
It took a very long time for the surveyor, low bidder, to get the survey done. And now that we have received the survey, Joe's been having some difficulties. There's a lot of inaccuracies.
Okay, so
the
we're gonna
design
do it
is-
around opening days.
Yeah, we'll probably start,
First day of school.
September 10th. No, we're actually, we're gonna
Sounds
be,
like next year.
we're gonna wait till next summer.
Did you hear from the Board of Ed on their input?
No, and because now there's more personnel change there, I'm
Right.
gonna wait until things settle
Because
down.
it'd be nice to have their
We're
input,
not-
because we can do some good things for them.
We're not under the time pressure that we were. We were trying to get a bid out in March, and that wasn't gonna work.
Okay.
So once they have a new board secretary in place, business administrator, we'll sit down.
Maybe
with
it'll
them.
work out for the better, even if it's delayed.
Okay, and then my next question is, when do you think that we will have the hearing, not the hearing, do the assessment on the properties for the sewers? 2 years, 1 year, 3 years?
The current sewer project? Realistically, we're not gonna have our final bill on this project paid until a year from now,
Okay, so we're looking 2 years before we do an
2
assessment?
years.
2 years.
And then-
Write that in your calendar, Mayor.
Mental calendar.
Remember the last fund we had?
Summer
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Who's gonna be mayor then?
Better put the smart one up there.
We'll put that on our agenda. Yeah, right?
Right, Lou, like this.
I push that off till 2018.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. I don't have much, but I do, I want to share this with everybody, because I did have breakfast with Rodney Freelandheisen on Monday. He had a mayor's breakfast, and this is about the pipeline and what he's been working on with the county, with the pipeline, with the Army Corps. So you can pass it to Carol, and you make copies and put that in the packet and send it to all of us, so everybody can see what they're working on. And also, just to follow up on the flooding, I did sit next to the mayor of Little Falls, who has been raising homes through grants, and she invites us to come with her to visit what's going on there.
Good? That's, I heard the same thing in Pompton Lakes.
Yeah, the problem is the same stories of Sandy. Because you're getting into government and bidding and people going out of business.
And we're not, we're gonna do ours different.
We're gonna do ours.
This is not a
Right.
municipal project.
Yeah, but are they gonna be able to
We're
hire
not-
who they want?
Yes.
And now, we'll be out of it, right?
We're just.
Well,
Middle
Just
person.
facilitating.
we'll be the sub-grantee,
Mm.
and we're not out of it, but we are not the contractor.
Mhm.
You know, we're not the contracting agent.
Right.
Is Little Falls the contracting agent?
Yeah, they are.
Mhm.
But they're we should at least talk to them, and she wants to talk to us, and she said, you know, we should just, any lessons we can learn ahead of time are better than learning them ourselves, I think. She was very open and willing to, just, let us come chat with them, or even, I said I was surprised that our flood committee's not dealing
We
with
have.
their flood committee.
They have,
Yeah,
they've talked with Little Falls and
Mhm.
with Compton Lakes and
yeah.
with,
I mean, I don't think there's any other resolution, because the tunnel's never coming in our lifetime, if ever. So this definitely, I'm totally supportive, but I was just listening to her was,
Right, a person at my job that works for me, he lives in Compton Lakes, and that has turned into a nightmare, elevating the house. The contractor actually refused to sign the contracts, and so they had to go back out to bid again, and they're to the point, the person who wants to elevate the house is saying, look, you know what, this is just too
Not
much.
working. Well, I'm glad that we took those streets so small, like, we didn't do like a huge, big area like we originally thought we were gonna do. So I'm kinda happy that we're doing it in contained, we can learn a lot.
Manageable.
Manageable.
and I think that's why we're doing it this way too. I think we knew some of these issues they were having.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'd have to be living under a rock to not know that these things happen, yeah.
And knew that we should be
Yeah,
doing.
but I think the more we talk to our neighbors, the better off we'll be. So, that's all I have. Okay. Next on the agenda is public comment. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name and address for the record. Anybody? Second round?
Mike, anything?
Happy? Is your light fixed? Everything's your light's fixed, right?
We like talking.
Oh, good news. It's nice to have good news.
Good news, you're coming up here with good news, right, Mike?
Mike Bertone, 10 Beach Street. Yeah, I'm very happy that that light pole was fixed, and it looks great. Looks much safer now.
That's good.
And that's it.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, are there any items for closed session? No? Okay. Okay. And we don't have any minutes?
You missed it last time.
No minutes?
Nope.
No minutes.
I saw the aftermath.
So,
All right, now,
Did you
oh my
hear the
God.
aftermath?
Oh, that's it.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
All right, second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Oh, you second.
Yes.
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 Record.